so I was the only one left with all the litho kind of passion, you know, and I always wanted to do it. So when I got to, then I met my friend from, who I went to school with at the University of Windsor. He was doing his master's in conservation of art, and he wanted to do his, Craig Johnson, he wanted to do his thesis on lithographic limestone. So I helped Craig with his thesis on lithostones, so I kind of told him what I knew and this, and I told him the stories of Marmara, and he was a doer, like a big doer. Like this guy, you know, that he's very successful, and he said, "Let's get the hell up there," and we drove up in a huge kind of rental truck, you know, and he had this vision of getting stone, and we knew where there. I told him the story of this huge stone I saw on the guy's porch. It was the threshold stone, but it was 5 feet by 4 feet, and
nibble those up.
and as soon as Craig heard that, it just must have represented money, value. He understood business better than most people. He said, "You got to get it." And I said, "Okay." So we went up there, we knocked on the guy's door, and the guy said, "Yeah," the farmer. And we said, "Your stone on the step that's all caved in. Could we buy it from you?" And the guy said, "Okay, just build me some new steps." Craig, of course, wasn't going to build no steps. He said, "What if we buy you some pre-casted concrete steps, cement?"
Yeah.
And the guy said, "Yeah, that sounds really great." So Craig automatically in his back pocket had kind of a list of 5 different precasted steps that he picked up. He picked up at a concrete store in Belleville.
Which
And
one you want?
the guy looked, you know, and we thought he was going to choose the $500 steps, you know, the ones that were going to cost us a lot of money. And he goes, "Oh, I like these. The first ones look really good," and they were $125. We said, "No problem." So Craig said, "You got a phone?" Okay. He phones the company. He says, "Can you deliver these steps to you know, this Bonter Road off of Marmara?" And so they said, "No problem, we'll have them there in about 2 hours." So Craig all of a sudden, you know, went into the big truck we rented, and he took out a big fridge mover and took it out, and he said, "Otis, grab that big stone." And you know, I look pretty tough and rough, you know, but really I'm a little intimidated by things.
5 by 4 stone.
And I said, "Craig, I don't think, you know, I could even pick that thing up. I can't even move it." And Craig goes, "Come on!" And I said, "Whoa, you know, this thing to crush you, right? Like if the thing fell on you, it'd crush you." And Craig just grabs the thing, and, you know, hoists it up, puts it on the cart. You know, I could see that this is doable now, right? Because Craig's doing it all. Craig's he's 300 pounds. He's 6 foot like 4, and he's like, you know, like a mountain man that you'd see in the Rockies. And he, good pun. And he like moves it, and at this point I realized that this stone wasn't going to kill anybody, and it was doable. So we brought it into the truck and laid it down. And then we looked. The stone, the threshold stone, was propped up by about 75 other stones.
Wow.
That were all sizes, all
Underneath
lengths.
it?
Yeah, that broke somehow in the mill, and they couldn't ship them. But they were great for foundation stones.
Right.
So the guy said, "Take all of them too." And you know, Craig goes, "Okay." So we filled the whole friggin' truck with so many stones.
Right.
And
they were all lithostones?
all beautiful. And I still have a lot of them at Queen's, and Craig has stones strewn all over his backyard that he still uses just to prop up, you know, the garden and that. And so we drove away very happily, and of course the concrete steps came almost, you know, like in sync. They moved in, and the farmer was just so happy, and we drove away, and we were so like just absolutely ecstatic that we had one of the largest stones we've ever seen in our lives. Yeah, we didn't exploit the farmer. we
You could
help
have
them.
said, "Hey, you're sitting on a gold mine. We hate to tell you, but
There's all these
You
rich
could make
litho
great-
guys.
you could probably make like
Well,
$10,000
there-
out of this, and I'm sure you'd like to
there,
do that.
it's-
'Cause
it's
you
not-
need a new prize cow.
Well, the stone isn't really worth all of that. You know, it is like diamonds.
It's
There are a
worth
lot of
it.
diamonds in the world, but it's the market that holds them back to make them valuable.